Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, students organize an event to promote suicide prevention.
And find out what happened to a plane that tipped backwards at JFK Airport today.
Plus, class registration is right around the corner, and the advisement is offering their help.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Matthew Bly.
And I'm Madeline Cummings.
As midterm grades come out, students will shortly begin registering for classes. The Advisement Center will continue to host registration workshops through the end of the week to help students prepare their schedules for winter and spring registration. The workshop will help students understand how to review degree requirements, use registration and planning on My Oswego, and browse courses to add to their registration plan.
Registration workshops will take place until October 27th. October 25th's program will be held in room 143 in the Marano Campus Center. All other dates will take place in room 133. To locate your time of registration, log into your My Oswego. For any questions about registration, you can contact the Advisement Center by phone or email.
The School of Business at SUNY Oswego is hosting a panel discussion tomorrow on the future of generative AI. The panel of alumni will discuss how New York's business landscape could be changed by the rapidly growing industry of artificial intelligence. Guests from established positions in companies like Google, Oswego Health, and Constellation are expected to attend. The event will be held from 2:15 to 3:45 in the Marano Campus Center auditorium. But those who cannot make it can also join over Zoom.
Octavia Acapella will be hosting a suicide prevention event at the Marano Campus Center in the Food and Activities Court. The event will be called Together We Thrive and is aimed to raise awareness and support for those struggling with mental health challenges. It will take place on Tuesday, October 24th at 7 p.m. The event will begin with a walk from the Marano Campus Center Food and Activities Court and followed by performances and speakers at 8 p.m. in the Sheldon Hall Ballroom.
Oswego County police agencies are joining forces with the statewide Stop DWI efforts to keep the streets safe this Halloween weekend. Coordinator David Hall says that Halloween is meant to be scary, but it shouldn't be for drivers and their passengers. The goal is to raise awareness and keep the streets safe while people are trick-or-treating and attending parties. Hall encourages people to download the mobile app called Have a Plan, which helps people educate themselves on blood alcohol levels and find a safe way home. Just this past weekend, SUNY Oswego had a Friends and Family Weekend. The campus hosted a number of events to entertain the friends and family of current students.
WTOP-10's Austin Kloss has more. This past weekend was Friends and Family Weekend. Students welcomed their loved ones to our tour to campus, participate in wide activities. The campus hosted such great activities such as the Great Pumpkin Race, a 5K race that takes all around campus, and the Pride Festival. They also showcased the production of The Importance of Being Earnest, an annual iron pour, a community pool movie, and 2 Oswego hockey games. It was a fun weekend, and I went around campus to ask some students and parents about their visit.
5K this morning, and my legs hurt, but it was good.
Absolutely, especially those who are feeling homesick. They can feel a sense of home when they come, and maybe they won't feel that homesick.
It was a fun-filled weekend, and it was nice to see everybody who could see their families. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Austin. Say, this weekend we had really strong winds and horrible rain. Is this bad weather going to continue throughout the week?
Let's take a look at our Team 10 forecast with meteorologist Caitlin Farrell.
Yes, guys, so I do hate to break it to you. Yes, there is going to be a lot more rain and definitely a lot more interesting climax and rain. So, fall or summer still? Which one is it? Are we actually going to be getting that snow, or is it still going to be fall? When's our next chance of rain? We're going to go from the 70s for this week, and then into next week we're going to go into the 20s. We've already had the Tug Hill see about a trace to an inch already of snow. That's soon going to be on our way. And then what's the rest of the week going to look like? I'll be back with you guys after this break. But for now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Caitlin. This past Friday, things were heating up on campus. SUNY Oswego held their annual Iron Pour, coordinated by the Campus Department of Technology and the Department of Art and Design. The event collaboration gave students the opportunity to create sculptures using liquefied scrap iron. The department set aside weeks to prepare for this hours-long event. Taking the time to cut down scrap metal to the appropriate sizes and pre-building molds at the event, students were broken up into teams, taking turns feeding the metal into the furnace. Once the metal entered the furnace, the liquefaction process occurred, allowing for the unique creations to be realized. Students of every skill level gathered to participate, leading to the success of the event.
3 gas stations just outside Syracuse were robbed at gunpoint this past Sunday. One robbery was reported around 7 p.m. Sunday night where a man in a tan hoodie displayed a handgun to an employee and continued to rob the store of an undisclosed amount of cash and left on foot. The suspect is still at large and it is undetermined if all the crimes were connected. The sheriff's office asked anyone with information about the crimes to call them at this number to provide information.
A JetBlue airplane tipped at New York's JFK airport Sunday night. It happened while crews were unloading the plane. The airline says a shift in weight caused the tail to tip backward and the nose to lift up. It's not known if anyone was on board at the time, but no injuries were reported. JetBlue is reviewing the incident and says mechanics will inspect the plane before it flies again.
Still ahead tonight, Kathy Hochul visited Israel last week.
Plus, the hunt for the Speaker of the House continues for House Republicans.
One occurred for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the
There's something
doorbell.
wrong with this teleprompter. Okay.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen to briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer to that one. Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Good evening and welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm your meteorologist, Caitlin Farrell, speaking with you today. So right now, our current conditions. Right now, we're about 47 degrees out here in Oswego. Feels like 46. That wind is definitely taking a toll on the feel of the temperature. Sunrise tomorrow is going to definitely be at 7:31 a.m. It's going to be getting shorter and shorter as we get into turning the clocks back. Wind right now, northeast, 3 miles per hour, pressure 103.2, dew point 37, and humidity 71%. Definitely not seeing any rain as we get into the rest of the night. So looking ahead at our bus stop schedule, off to school is about to be 42 degrees, cloudy, not really seeing too much sense of sunlight. And then as we get to heading home, we'll definitely be seeing a lot more sunlight. Nearly partly cloudy, 62 degrees. Definitely need that jacket in the beginning of the bus ride. So looking at a map, just kind of seeing there is a cold front going down past New York City. We have a little bit of a warm front and occluded front that is kind of staying put in the center of the county, or of the country, sorry. So looking ahead for the temperatures tomorrow, 47 is going to definitely be our lowest point tomorrow at 9 a.m. 11 a.m. is going to be 53. We're going to go a little bit up into the 60s, high of 63 by 3 p.m. tomorrow, staying at 63 until 5 p.m. and slowly working our way back down to 57. So, 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, we're looking at 64, mostly sunny, high of 50. Tuesday, 68, clouds, maybe a PM shower, low of 56. We're going to be starting to see a nice upward track into the 70s, and then slowly dropping down back into the 50s of what an actual fall weather is supposed to feel like. That is it for weather. Back to the front desk.
New York State's weed businesses may be impacted by a new distributor license requirement. The Cannabis Control Board, or CCB, recently approved a new mandate that allows the Office of Cannabis Management to give violation notices to businesses who are operating without a license. The business is then granted 5 days to provide a certificate of compliance form to the OCM. If the certificate is not sent in, current regulations allow the OCM to impose fines of up to $20,000 for each day the business continues to sell without a license.
Earlier this week, New York Governor Kathy Hochul visited Israel to demonstrate her solidarity with the country. She says the trip has been life-changing for her. At the media availability, Hochul shared the stories she heard and the sights she witnessed during her trip last week. She says that with New York housing the largest population of Jewish people outside of Israel, it is important to show the firsthand support for the Jewish community.
We now lead to the Middle East, where Israeli strikes have killed more than 400 people in Gaza in a single day. Nearly 200 of them were children. Israeli Defense Forces say they hit 320 terror targets in 24 hours.
A word of warning, some of the images and videos from the following story are extremely graphic and may be hard to watch or hear. Cole Higgins has the latest.
Victims pulled from buildings bombed to ruins in Gaza. Parts of neighborhoods now reduced to rubble. Intensified Israeli airstrikes killing hundreds in a bloody 24 hours in Gaza. Among the dead, children. Some parents in Gaza have resorted to writing their children's names on their legs to help identify them should either they or the children be killed.
People gave me these 2 babies. They are injured by the bombing.
At least a dozen hospitals and dozens more medical centers are now out of service in Gaza. Doctors warn many infants relying on ventilators will not survive if electricity is cut off.
Unfortunately, at the moment, we have no any medical supply. The essential drugs, which is essential drugs as life-saving for baby in the first 2 hours of life.
Humanitarian supplies have now begun to trickle into the region, none of it much needed fuel. Gaza now more than 7,000 aid trucks short of normal deliveries.
What we need is a significant scaling up of a supply line into Gaza, and it needs to be sustained and it needs to be uninterrupted.
With a ground invasion into Gaza appearing imminent, the Israeli military say their soldiers are now taking part in training exercises to improve their readiness and capabilities for ground operations. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
The IDF says the targets included tunnels and dozens of operational command centers belonging to Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. 20 days and counting since Kevin McCarthy was ousted as Speaker of the House. And House Republicans are still on the search for the new Speaker of the House. They held a candidate forum Monday night to look for someone to succeed Representative McCarthy. Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio exited the race for Speaker Friday after 3 failed bids. Since then, numerous Republicans have thrown their hats into the political ring. Any lawmaker that runs for House Speaker needs to get 217 votes to win the gavel.
In South America, Argentina's presidential elections have headed to a runoff as the country's economic minister, Sergio Massa, received the highest number of votes in Sunday's presidential election. He will face far-right libertarian economist Javier Milei in a runoff on November 19th. Polls show that Massa received the highest number of votes with around 33%, and Milei received roughly 30% of votes. Argentina's new president will take office in December to start a 4-year term.
When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, the United Auto Workers Union do a surprise walkout.
And what are some potential symptoms for breast cancer that are not lumps?
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one. Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back, everyone. In consumer news, a new study shows that university early decision applications benefit mostly students from wealthy families. Early decision allows students to apply to their top schools months before regular applications are due. Any incoming student can use this application, but some students can't afford the risk. A lot of students need to compare their different schools' financial aid offers to negotiate their aid packages. The study found that students from higher income families are more likely to apply to highly competitive schools early.
The auto workers' strike continues to intensify as workers do a surprise walkout. The United Auto Workers Union ordered nearly 7,000 workers to walk out of Stellantis plant in Metro Detroit. The UAW say Stellantis has the worst proposal as they continue to negotiate. This is the second time the UAW ordered a surprise walkout as a high-profile factory. As of right now, there are more than 40,000 auto workers on strike.
Most adults recognize a lump as a potential sign for breast cancer, but less than half can suffer with other red flags associated with the disease. Dr. Sachin Jiwar has more about potential signs of breast cancer.
By the time we catch an inflammatory breast cancer, 1/3 of patients will already have metastatic disease, meaning that the cancer has spread outside of the breast and lymph node areas.
Are you comfortable in this position? It's fine. Okay. How's the compression? It's fine. It's fine.
The American Cancer Society says that inflammatory breast cancer happens to young women under the age of 40. It is also more common in women that are overweight or obese.
The CDC says that we are in for another rough season of respiratory disease. The agency predicts that during peak virus season, there will be 15 to 25 weekly hospitalizations for every 100,000 people. They also predict an onslaught of patients at healthcare facilities. The CDC also says COVID will be a worse perpetrator, followed by the flu and SRV. Students urge people to get vaccinated.
Coming up, we have our sports anchor, Owen Miles.
Owen, can you give us a quick preview?
Thank you, guys. We have a battle of the Texas teams for the American League Championship, and a huge trade just took place in the NFL. coming up after a short break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10
out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Hello and welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Owen Miles bringing you your Monday night sports update. The Oswego women's volleyball team traveled to Fredonia on Saturday where they scored the victory with a final score of 3-2. The Lakers were able to come back from a 2-0 deficit to start the match by winning the next 3 sets to complete the comeback. Set 5 was a back-and-forth battle, but Georgia Ferry of the Lakers was able to close out the match with a game-winning kill. The Lakers will return home for a doubleheader this weekend, where they will take on Brockport on Friday and Geneseo on Saturday. We head to the Deb now, where the men's hockey team scored the victory on Saturday against the Alvernia Golden Wolves. The Lakers started off with a bang with an opening minute goal in the first period by Connor Sleeth. Alvernia made some big adjustments after that because the Golden Wolves put a ton of pressure on the Lakers defense and was able to close the gap late. The Lakers, however, stepped up in the closing minutes and came away with the victory by a final score of 7-6. Oswego will take on Hobart College for Teal Night on Friday. We have an exciting game in the world of baseball tonight as the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros will face off in Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. The Astros are attempting to make their second consecutive trip to the World Series, while the Rangers are looking to make it there for the first time since 2011. The starting pitchers for tonight are Christian Javier for the Astros and Max Scherzer for the Rangers. The winner of the Battle of Texas will advance to the 2023 World Series. We have big news from the NFL world as the Philadelphia Eagles traded for Kevin Byard earlier today. The Tennessee Titans sent Byard to Philadelphia in exchange for safety Terrell Edmonds and 2 draft picks. The Eagles are coming off of a massive win over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday night and continue to make splashes with the addition of the All-Pro safety. Meanwhile, the Titans, who are off to a slow start to the season at 2-4, are gearing up for the future with extra draft picks. This Sunday, Bill Belichick became the 3rd coach to have 300 wins. Sports reporter Jesse Kushner has more.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday was a great game and a brutal one at that between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. The Patriots are on the board first from their rookie kicker, who outstandingly scores the first 3 points with about 10 minutes left on the clock. Not even 30 seconds go by, and the Patriots intercept the ball to gain the possession back. This eventually leads to the first touchdown of the game, making the score 10-0 in favor of the Patriots. The Bills decreased the margin, however, with a field goal of their own, raising the score to 10-3. But the Patriots scored a devastating second kick with 7 minutes left in the second quarter that will lead to the eventual victory over the Bills. Back to Matt and Maddle, YNN, at the desk.
Owen and Jesse, thank you so much for that. What an exciting weekend. But don't go anywhere because we're about to find out what America and New York's favorite Halloween candies are. Stay tuned after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy. Look at the bling. Look at the, do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting back. Yep.
10 out of 10
recommend on Yelp.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for some good news. So from candy corn to Kit Kats, favorite Halloween candies vary by the state.
CandyStore.com released data based on its bulk candy sales to determine the favorite Halloween sweets in each state and nationwide.
The most popular candy across the state was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Well, New York's favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids, followed by hot tamales and candy corn.
Well, what are all of your favorite candies?
I was going to say, do we agree with this list?
Yeah, that's a really good list, honestly.
You think it's good?
Yeah, I like
hot. You like hot tamales?
Well, except for the hot tamales part. That
no hot tamales.
Yeah, no, the hot tamales confused me too. I don't.
That was weird, yeah.
I could do Sour Patch Kids though.
I like Sour Patch Kids.
I get that.
I love Sour Patch Kids, especially the watermelon one. Like those are the greatest ones in my opinion.
I like when they're different shapes.
Exactly, like
they got different shapes.
Like the little watermelons. That really.
Oh yeah,
makes
I know.
them a lot
I know
more,
what you're talking about.
more fun, I guess.
But
not that the little people aren't fun enough.
Yeah.
I really like Almond Joys. I'm kind of sad that they didn't make the list, but a little disappointed. You guys, any things that you thought would make the list?
No Hershey's.
Wow,
couldn't believe it.
That's really surprising.
Nothing chocolate. Nothing chocolate.
Yeah.
Halloween.
That's really surprising.
So they got candy corn.
You want to know another one that I really like? So it's like candy corn, but they're pumpkins.
I love those, the pumpkins, yeah.
Yeah, like the other day.
You're killing me.
I got a bunch of
killing
them.
me.
They're so good. Like I've always loved them. Even though my family doesn't like them.
Yeah. Well, now we know who's buying them.
Yep.
Caitlin, can you give us a bit of a little last check on weather?
Yep, so a little last check on weather. We are going to be seeing an increase in temperatures up into the 70s by the time we get to Friday, along with showers. And then throughout the weekend and into next week, we do get a dip back into the 50s and into fall weather.
And do we have anything coming up in sports at all this week?
Well, I know this weekend that the men's cross country and women's cross country are going to Cortland, I think it is, for the SUNYAC Championship, so that's pretty surprising. A lot of
we can look forward
great
to that,
opportunities there.
Well, I hope you learned something. I hope you had some fun, but that is our report for tonight.
Make sure to stay tuned for our OP.
Perspective Entertainment.
Right.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.